Hello, 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 hello. Welcome again to another edition. I wanted to say episode and edition. I said episode. Of Career Chat Live. I'm excited to be here today to answer your questions. So today I'm going solo. And I have a question today that I'm going to answer that I'm sure most of you have been wondering and asking. And you just stay tuned and you get to know more. When I received this question, I was like, definitely I have to bring it in here on Tuesday and let you all know the answer to that. So, welcome. This is a series created for African women in STEM who want straight talk and real strategies to help them navigate their careers. I'm Adesi Lejo Dogalanya, a TEDx speaker, an author, a leadership and strategy coach, and the founder of African Women in STEM. So, African Women in STEM is on a mission to empower women to take ownership of their careers, maximize their potential, and succeed. And each week on Career Chat Live, um, I'll either be answering questions, or I'll bring a guest mentor to answer your questions, share their journey. I'll share my journey as well, and give you great insights. We're here for the real. Okay, so if you want real strategies, straight talk, this is where you get it. So we're live here on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So wherever you feel most comfortable, whichever one is your social media like place to hang out, we're there for the most part. So feel free to either use the comments to send me questions, or send a DM to me, or send me an email. Um, so today I'm going solo, like I said earlier, and I'm excited to answer your questions. So let's jump right in. So the question I received, I'm going to read it out, is how do you maintain a long lasting relationship with someone who has a higher rank in their career? So this person says, I'm new in my career and I connected with a C-level executive at a networking event. We're now connected on LinkedIn, but I am wondering what's next? Like, what do I do? How do I continue the relationship and foster a lasting bond? This is a really good question because networking is one of my superpowers and my, what do I call it? Like my happy place. I love building connections. I love meeting people. I know a lot of people don't like networking. I mean, there was a time I thought I was one of those people just because networking events at industries were just dry. And it was very difficult to build authentic relationships and authentic connections from there. It was more like how many business cards did they collect and so on and so forth. So I get that. But this is it. Networking is something that you definitely have to get comfortable with if you're not comfortable with it yet. Begin to love it if you don't love it yet. Because definitely it is everything. I say this all the time. I mean, there's research out there that 85% of jobs are gotten through networking, and 70% of jobs are not publicly listed. And there's another study that says only about 1 to 3% of jobs are gotten by direct code applying. That's applying through job boards online, like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is amazing. They have all these opportunities, but the reality is that for the most part, when you apply through LinkedIn or any of those job boards, and that's all you do, only about 1 to 3% of people get jobs just by doing that. So I'm going to answer this question about how do you maintain a long-lasting relationship with someone who has a higher rank in their career. This person is new, an early career person, and is connected with a C-suite executive, and is wondering, how do I continue this relationship? How do I make it last? So first of all, what I'm just going to say, this is my take on it. Number one, you have to work on your mindset. I understand that this person is a C-level executive. So financial level person, or even somebody else that's probably not a C-level executive, you feel like, oh my goodness, like, there'll be that anxiety, maybe fear, or you're afraid of doing something wrong. They feel like as if they're otherworldly, like some kind of superhumans that you cannot, be around. And it's such, now that you're around them, you're watching everything you do and say. However, here is my take. It doesn't matter what position someone has in a company, in an organization, in their career, or what level they are in their career. We are all human beings, first and foremost. So, as human beings, we are limited. We don't know everything and we don't have everything. So, if you understand that they're all human beings crave what? Connection, they crave relationships, except maybe a few. We have to discuss that those people on a different day. But they don't know everything, they don't have everything. So there's definitely something that you have that they don't have. There's definitely something that you know and they don't know. And also it's very important that you're able to connect with them as humans on a human level. Build a relationship, build connections. So if you understand that these people are human beings just like you, first thing it's going to do is that it will release you from whatever fear or anxiety or whatever it is that might be holding you back and stopping you from stepping forward and building a real relationship with this person. So think about the fact that you always have something to offer. These executives appreciate fresh perspectives, candid insights, whatever, and they can come from anyone. So the first thing is work on your mindset. Work on your mindset and realize that they're human beings just like you, and there's always something that you have to offer, regardless of what level you are in your career or what position you are or what your title is. And then the second thing that is really important is that you have to learn to build rapport or build this relationship authentically. I mentioned earlier that once upon a time, networking was like icky for me, and it's icky for a lot of people right now because most times when you go to networking events, people are just there for what they're going to get out of it. If you're there for what you're going to get out of it, it's going to be very difficult for or to build authentic relationships. If you're there and you're not comfortable in the environment you're in, you cannot come out as who you really are or show your true self, so you can't build that relationship. So when you're building a relationship with anybody, it doesn't matter. In this case, you're talking about early career to senior level executive, but it applies across board. Find a common ground. You definitely will have shared interests. You definitely will have professional goals that are similar. You know, the goal for you here is to make sure that this relationship is not transactional. So if it helps, one thing to do if you want to build authentic relationships, I want to, shout out our blog on African women in STEM. A couple of weeks ago, we wrote a blog post about how to prepare for conferences, and definitely about conferences. If conferences is that you want to go there, meet people, network, get a job, all of that. But whether you're looking to get a in order to prepare, you have to research the conference and research the people. So in the same vein, you also have to research the people that you met. Let's say if you know they're going to be there, research them before you meet them. If you don't know, after you meet them and you want to continue their relationship, go and find out what they're doing. Lead with value. That's number 3. So number 1, work on your mindset. They're human beings, and there's something you have that they don't. There's something you know that they don't know as well. And everybody wants a genuine relationship. Then number 2, relate with them in a way that is authentic. And then number 3, lead with value. I've said this in the first and second one, but do not make networking something that is transactional. Because what usually happens is I'm going to use Google because everyone knows Google, okay, or NVIDIA or Microsoft or whatever. Usually, if they tell you that the CEO of Google is going to be here or the CTO of Microsoft is going to be here, most people are going to be like, oh my goodness, I want to go there. I want to meet the CEO, CFO, whatever the case may be, or this high-level tech person and so on and so forth. And when you think that, most of the time you're thinking of what can this person do for me? They're in this position. If they see me, maybe they can give me XYZ. But I need you to lead with value. Lead with value and also find out find out what interests them. What are their interests? All right. What are they working on at that particular time that you can support them with? And I want you to realize that most of these people, yes, they're C-level executives or board members and so on and so forth, or they're senior to you, but they have a life at work and they also have a life outside of work. So depending on the circumstance that you met the person, maybe the networking event wasn't necessarily career relationship with this person. Or even if it's career related, find out what they're interested in, what are they working on that you can support them in. So even if it's not something at work, say somebody's a tech genius and you're just getting out of school and you don't know anything, which there's no such thing. There's something that you know that they don't. But maybe they support a particular community that you also are interested in supporting. Say, for example, I'm a woman in STEM. African women in STEM is set up to, empower women in STEM to succeed in their careers and pay it forward. There are communities like that. So let's say they support communities like that or support what you're doing and things like that. It may be something you're interested in. Maybe they like running. You also like running, and maybe they support nonprofits that are interested in finding a cure for cancer or Alzheimer's. Maybe you're also interested in that. So it could be something work related or not, but what are they interested in and how can you support them, whatever it is that they're doing? And the good thing about the time that we're in now is that it's never been easier to connect with somebody, to maintain a relationship, and to support them as it is right now. And because this is a professional network, African Women in STEM, and because I'm addressing professional African women in STEM and professionals in general, LinkedIn, okay, LinkedIn is a place to be. It can be as easy as if they're active on LinkedIn, like their post, comment on it. And don't just comment, let's say they write something, be like, oh, that's great. That's not an appropriate comment or a sufficient comment. And also, don't drop a comment in there that looks like AI wrote it. We all don't have enough time for other things that we want to do in a day. So reading the post and comments in the name might actually take a chunk of time. But you can take that thing, put it in ChatGPT or other AI tool that you use, and then just get an idea, but figure out a way to make it yours so they can own it. Because what you're trying to do, they can't get to know you really. So it's one name commenting, let it be from you so they can get to know you better. So it's as easy as that. If they are very active in the speaking circuit, let's say they go to events, they're on panels and stuff like that. If they have an event, attend it. If you can make the time, attend it and make sure that they know that you're there. If it's in person, it's easy. Go say hi to them, before or after. If it's virtually, make sure you're on camera, they can see your face, and then you're very active in the comments as well. So that's the way you can support them because there's nobody that does anything in this world that does not appreciate any kind of support. I don't care if they're a board member, if they have a post and you like it, they will appreciate it. If they have an event and you attend, they will appreciate it. So lead with value, find out how you can support them. And share thoughtful observations. Like whatever they're talking about or whatever they're interested in, just when you have insightful questions about their work, about their industry, about the things that you do, because in addition to, supporting whatever they do, I mean, outreach is also very important. And when you reach out to them after you've met the first time, lead with value. So that is where you share your thoughtful observations, share things you know about the industry, about the work, about the trends in the industry you all are in. And if you work in the same organization, find a way to connect whatever it is that you're saying to the broader business outcome. Even if you don't work in the same organization, if you're in the same industry or you guys have the same interests, find a way to have that link because the whole idea is that you're showcasing yourself, your expertise, what you have, and then how you can bring value to the table. It makes the conversations that you're going to have with this person more interesting, and they'll definitely want to have a conversation with you, and that's how you build relationships. And I said it before, volunteer. Fine if they're doing something and you want to go pass out water, things like that. But to whatever extent you can. I'm just listing a few here. But figure out again, by the time you do your research on this person, then you will know for sure, how you're going to support them. All right. So that's it. And then number 4, you need to stay consistently engaged. So you meet someone at a networking event, you connect with them on LinkedIn. That cannot be it. That cannot be it at all. Oh man, someone says they can't hear me. Oh boy. Okay. Someone just said they couldn't hear me. I hope this wasn't muted the whole time. I hope it's just like a one person problem, but I'm so sorry, Blanche, that you couldn't hear me. I hope it's better now. Let me know if you can hear me. Um, yeah. And I'm gonna check this after this event. If it's a problem, I'll do this again, because I really want to share this value with everyone. So so basically going back to, I'm just gonna do a quick summary. How do you maintain a long-lasting relationship with someone that has a higher rank in their career? The person asking this question is new in their career and they're connected with a C-level executive and they want to know what's next. How can they continue the relationship? So the first thing I talked about was mindset, realizing that they're human beings just like you. They don't know everything that you do, and they don't have everything either. So there's always somewhere that you can relate to them, and human beings want to build connections and relationship. The number two is to build a rapport that is authentic. Build genuine connections. Find what shared interests you have, what professional goals you have that are similar. The relationship has to feel natural. You have to do your research on whoever this person is and find out more about them. Because again, if this person is higher up, they're obviously very busy. Um, and this relationship definitely may end up being of value to you more. So it makes sense that you research them and figure out a way to have understand what is common between the two of you and how you guys can share that. But think about building authentic relationships. And then number three, lead with value. Find out what their interests are and always offer value. Don't go to them or go to networking events or try to go move forward with what you can get. Think about what you can give all the time, and you can always give something. And I said it can be as simple as liking their post or commenting if they're on social media, attending events that they're interested in, or supporting whatever project or cause that they have. And I hope you can hear me, Blanche. So the very last one is not the last one, but the fourth one is to stay consistently engaged. So when you meet someone and connect with them on LinkedIn, that can be the end of it. So stay consistently engaged, follow up. You don't have to follow up every day or every week. You don't want to bug the person too much, but have a regular cadence where you follow up with thoughtful comments, with updates. If you do all these things I listed out earlier, that's a follow up right there. And then if you can, I mean, if it's possible, if the person is somebody you can meet in person, or if not, find a way to connect with the person at least once or twice or three times, whatever, a year, just so that you guys can have a conversation. But then again, you build up to that with by doing everything that we talked about earlier. And when you're doing this, don't aim for instant closeness. You don't meet someone today and expect that very day um, that you're going to become really close to that person. Understand everything they have, and all of a sudden you guys are buddy buddies. No, it may not work like that. And even if it doesn't seem like you guys are connecting, it may be a lot of things. Like I always say, give people grace because you don't know what's happening in their lives. They could be very busy. They could be fire on the mountain where they're working. There could be a lot of stuff going on in their families. So give the relationship time. And then last of all, demonstrate professionalism. You have to be professional. I know you're trying to build a relationship with this person. You're trying to build a connection. You're wanting to go further, but you have to be professional regardless. Um, it just shows, I mean, that you respect the person and you respect their time and you respect their perspectives and all of that. So you don't always have to agree with someone on every single thing, but it makes sense to be professional. So I hope I answered your question. I know that was a lot, but there's 6 points. Number one is make sure that you have your mindset right. Number two, build a rapport that is authentic. Number three, lead with value. Number four, stay consistently engaged. Number five, demonstrate professionalism. Always be professional. All right, so this is it for today. Follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. We're going to be bringing you this career chat live every week. Let me check and see if Usually I have guests, but today I'm solo. I'm also going to be solo some other days too, depending on what's going on. But let me know in the comments or in the chat or DM me to let me know if you got value from this. If you have any questions, so let me know, send them to me, and maybe next week your question will be the one that we're going to answer. All right. So again, I'm excited to be here. I'm happy that we had this time together, and I hope that you got value from this. So don't be afraid to network up at all. Do not be afraid to network up. You have a lot to give, and they have a lot to gain from you. I hope this was valuable, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Most likely, I'm going to have a guest, and then we'll be talking about something specific. Okay, I remember before I go, I think I usually ask my guests how they use AI. Okay, so I'm going to answer that because I don't think I've answered that for you guys. So, um, right now, my biggest thing is to save time and energy. So I'm working on automating as many of the tasks as I can automate to give myself space and time to do other things. So the way I use AI now is for automation. And whenever AI can help, I'll rather use it. So that's how I use AI to make my work easier and to make my life easier. What I'm realizing is that the setup, it's a little bit tricky because, for things that I'm not used to, like I haven't used, the AI before, I have to kind of figure out how it works and so on and so forth. But once that's done, everything else becomes so much easier. So that's how I use AI. Alrighty, so thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions, don't forget to send me a DM, put it in the comments, and send your questions because we're here to answer your questions with real strategies, real insights, no fluff. All right. So enjoy. Have a good night.